Hey campers, and welcome to the Cryptid Camp Learn to Play series. In this video, we're kicking things off with a beginner-friendly guide designed especially for players who just opened their starter decks. If you own a starter deck, this video will walk you through everything you need to know to start playing right away. So, some of you might be wondering, what is Cryptid Camp? Cryptid Camp is an indie trading card game successfully funded on Kickstarter in 2024. The game is inspired by cryptids, myth, and folklore and puts you in the role of a camper at Cryptid Camp, a mysterious, otherworldly place where cryptids are studied, tracked, and encountered. Together with your fellow campers, you'll head out on expeditions to uncover a strange substance known as evidence. The first player to gather enough evidence wins the game. For today's tutorial, Mothman on the left will be playing the Mothman La Llorona starter deck featuring obsidian and fluorite cards. And Bigfoot on the right will be playing the Bigfoot Nessie starter deck featuring malachite and lapis cards. There are 8 total cabins in our game, and we'll be covering the other cabins like quartz, meteorite, corallium, and fulgurite in future tutorials. So now that your cards are all sleeved up and in deck boxes, you found an opponent and you're both officially ready to play, what's next? Let's break down what's inside your deck. Using different sleeve colors for each component can make setup easier, but it's totally optional. Each player begins the game with 1 companion card. This must be a unique cryptid. Check the card rarity guide if you're unsure what qualifies. A 6-card trail deck. Trails are strategically placed face down into your available sites before the game begins. Choose wisely on your trail placements, because once flipped, your trails will provide boosts for your cryptids. A 10-card lantern deck. Lanterns act as your resources. And a 50-card main deck. This contains your cryptids, memories, supplies, and more. Playmats are optional, but highly encouraged unless you've memorized all the zones. Each player has 6 sites, 4 caches, zones for a main deck, lantern depot, companion zone, environment, and discard. You'll also want a few dice on hand to keep track of +1, -1 patches, as well as to keep score. Determine who goes first with a dice roll or coin flip. The winner chooses whether they want to go first or second. Let's take a look at Bigfoot's opening hand and go over the main card types in Cryptid Camp. Memories. Played for an effect, then discarded. CZOs. A powerful type of memory. You may only play 1 CZO per turn. Cryptids, the lifeblood of the game. They battle, explore, and help you gather evidence. Supplies, stored in your caches, providing boosts and static effects. And lastly, traps. These are not included in the starter decks, but will be covered in future tutorials. Now we know what types of card to expect, let's go over the mulligan rule. Players are allowed to take any number of cards from their opening hand, place them at the bottom of their deck, and then draw an equal amount of cards. Every subsequent time after the first will give your opponent an additional 2 cards to their opening hands. Now let's look at Mothman's opening hand, which includes an environment. Environments are a special type of memory that affect both sides of the table while active. Phases of a turn. Each turn in Cryptid Camp follows 4 phases. Start of day. Reset your lanterns, place 1 lantern card into your lantern depot, and draw 1 card from your main deck. Camp phase. Spend lanterns to play cards. Adjust your cryptids between attack and defense modes. Adventure phase. Use actions to Move a card, explore with a cryptid, activate a card's adventure ability. End of day. Place face down cryptids or traps. Prepare for your next turn. When a new game begins, both players place one lantern card from their lantern deck into their lantern depot. The starting player then draws one card from their main deck to begin the game. It's common to skip camp phase and adventure phase early in the game if there's not a whole lot to do. However, if there's a memory card in your hand that only costs one malachite, then technically Bigfoot could do that here. But instead, Bigfoot's going to skip to end of day and start putting some face down cryptids and or traps, setting up their next turn. And don't worry, if you put something face down and you forget what it is, you can always take a peek just to remind yourself. Now, Mothman's going to start their turn by drawing a card and getting a new lantern. Here in camp phase, we have Mothman paying one fluorite lantern to play a day and night weather. This is an environment card that goes in the environment zone. Depending on which orientation this card is, it will make one side of the table night active and the other side day. So night is currently active for Mothman's side of the table. Still in camp phase, we have Mothman going to pay another fluorite lantern to play card reading. This simply states draw 3, discard 2. So you draw 3 cards to your hand, and from all the cards in your hand, you can then discard 2 of those cards. And it looks like Mothman is discarding a Gao Echo, as well as a crystal ball. Mothman skips the adventure phase and moves directly to end of day, placing down some face down cryptids. And they pass their turn. Bigfoot start a day, they draw a card, they get a lantern. And it's important to note in this game the way the lanterns work. Now that Bigfoot has both a malachite and a lapis lantern, they can basically play any card in their deck. In order to play a card that costs 3 and is a lapis card, you would only need at least one lapis lantern in order to play that 3 cost card. Here we see Bigfoot paying 2 to play a backpack, which is a supply, so it goes into a cache. Then there's nothing left to do, so they pass their turn. Mothman starts their day by drawing a lantern and drawing a card. In camp phase, they pay all 3 for a La Llorona. This cryptid has Swimmer if Night is active, which Night is currently active. When you play this cryptid, choose a level 2 or lower cryptid in your discard and put it into an empty site in your camp. We happen to have a 2 cost or lower in our discard. We have Gao Echo. Night gives this cryptid +2 attack, and this cryptid cannot attack in battles unless Night is active. So Night is active. Our Gao Echo is able to come into this empty site. We then move into adventure phase. La Llorona strikes the back column because of Swimmer. And the way this works is we check if Nessie can be paid for. They cannot be, so they are discarded. The trail flips, and Mothman earns 1 evidence. So the goal of the game is to flip 3 of your opponent's trails and get to 10 evidence. I almost forgot to explain what would happen if Bigfoot had been able to pay for the cryptid, so let's briefly go over exploration and battles now. When you explore with a cryptid, you follow a series of checks in order to see what happens. All of this information can be found in the official rulebook linked below or at cryptidcamp.com. If when Mothman explored and encountered the Nessie and Bigfoot were able to pay the lantern cost for it, then a battle would have ensued. Here are the steps to battle. Depending on the orientation of the card, attack or defense numbers are used. Horizontal cards use defensive stats, where vertical cards use attack stats. If a cryptid is defeated in battle in defense mode, the exploring camper does not gain an evidence point. We will be going over this much more in depth in our intermediate and advanced tutorials. Now, back to the game. Still in adventure phase, we will then next have our Gecko go directly across. Once again, the jackalope cannot be paid for, so it is discarded, and the trail will flip, and Mothman will gain another evidence. Bigfoot starts their turn by drawing a card, resetting their lanterns, and getting another lantern. Bigfoot checks to see what he has. They pay 2 lapis to flip up a Fiji mermaid. This cryptid has swimmer, meaning they can explore the farthest site in the column with 3 attack and 1 defense. Next, Bigfoot pays 1 malachite for an archaeological dig, choosing a hidden entity and revealing it, and then putting it back in whatever orientation they desire. Bigfoot moves to adventure phase, has the Fiji mermaid explore the back row, and that Ooperter cannot be paid for, so the trail flips and Bigfoot gains an evidence. In end of day, Bigfoot places down a cryptid and passes turn. On Mothman's start of day, they get a new lantern, they draw. Mothman considers their options. They then pay 2, 1 being obsidian, to play Destroy the Ego. This allows them to choose a cryptid to explore a site within its range. So Mothman has Gecko explore directly across, earning 1 evidence. This is one way to gain evidence in the camp phase, where normally you would be getting that in the adventure phase. See our future tutorials for more advanced techniques on using Destroy the Ego. Next, Mothman pays 2 fluorite to play Aku Aku, which has 5 attack and 3 defense. They move to adventure phase. La Llorona strikes the back for another evidence. We use this entity's move action to go back, swapping Aku Aku up front. Aku Aku uses its action to explore across the way, flipping an empty trail and getting 1 evidence. And then Gecko goes across for an evidence. Mothman skips the end of day and passes turn. Bigfoot starts their day by drawing a card, resetting their lanterns, and getting 1 more lantern. During their camp phase, they used the backpack to boost the Fiji Mermaid. They realized they should have been doing that the previous turn as well, so we'll say the Fiji Mermaid is at +2/+2. Bigfoot pays 2 for another Fiji Mermaid, then pays 1 Malachite for a Jackalope. And Jackalope has 3 attack, 1 defense. If Calm is active, this cryptid has Swift, meaning it can be played directly from your hand into an empty site. Calm is essentially like Night, how Night is active for Mothman. There is an environment for Calm for Bigfoot, it is just currently not active. Lastly, Bigfoot pays 1 Lapis for a bloop sound on the Gauako, switch an attack mode cryptid into defense mode. Then in adventure phase, Jackalope goes directly across, flipping a trail and earning 1 evidence. Fiji Mermaid strikes the back, encountering a Dark Watchers that can't be paid for. It is discarded, the trail flips, and Bigfoot gets another evidence. And then this Fiji Mermaid uses its action to move up to Site 2. Bigfoot skips the end of day and passes turn. Mothman resets their lanterns, gets another lantern, and draws a card. At this stage of the game, with 5 lanterns available, Mothman uses all 5 of their lanterns to play their companion card, which is Mothman, a unique humanoid insectoid cryptid. Mothman has Flyer, meaning it can explore the nearest diagonal sites. When played, choose a rival camper. They pick 1 card in their hand to set aside. Guess the card type of that card, then reveal that card. The rival camper returns it to their hand, and if you guess the card type correctly, you gain 2 evidence. In this case, Mothman guesses that Bigfoot has a memory. And it looks like Mothman was right. Therefore, Mothman gets 2 more evidence. And when Mothman goes to adventure phase, if the Aku Aku goes directly across for 1 point, and the La Llorona goes to the back for another, they've got 10 evidence and 3 trails flipped. Therefore, Mothman wins the game. And that's how you play Cryptid Camp. I hope this video was informative. There's another Kickstarter coming out on April 28th of 2026, and we would love your support. And if you liked this video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. We'll have future tutorial videos coming out soon. Be sure to head to cryptidcamp.com to join our Discord, follow our Instagram, and stay up to date with all of our news. Hope you have fun playing the game, and thanks for watching.